Hi, I'm Dana V. Richardson, and this is Right Edit. I know I look a mess right now, but I've just climbed to the top of Elephant Mountain in Taipei, Taiwan. It is 183 meters high, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're just free climbing up the side of a mountain, it is very high. And I'm not afraid of heights, but I was terrified at one point and almost didn't finish. Um, so you're basically climbing up these stairs, these old stone stairs. They're very old. And some parts you have a rail to hold on to, and in some parts you don't have anything to hold on to. And I got to this point where there was no rail, and the stairs were so steep. My heart was just pounding, just banging to get out of my chest. I was shaking. I was terrified. And I just stopped and I backed up against a boulder that happened to be there, and I just couldn't move because I could see down how far down it was, how high I was. And I thought I could just fall. There's nothing stopping me from falling. I could just fall. And I couldn't move. I couldn't move. And I was thinking to myself, I'm so scared. I don't know how I'm going to get down because you got to go back down. I'm terrified. And then something said, do it anyway. And I remember the 5-second rule. If you don't act on a decision within 5 seconds, most likely you're not going to do it. So I said, okay, do it anyway. 5-second rule, go. And I started climbing up literally on all fours. That's how steep it was there. And I'm just trembling, but I'm climbing. And then finally I made it through past that passage and around the boulder, and it opened up. And it was really beautiful. There were blossoms, and people were climbing on top of the boulders to take pictures. And there was a little rest area and observation deck, and it was just gorgeous. And I just relaxed, and I thought, man, I almost didn't make it. And it made me think, if you could just fight through that thing that terrifies you, on the other side is something really amazing. It was amazing, and so I'm glad I have that takeaway. So I'm climbing. I'm like, yeah, okay, I could do this. And then I get to another part. There's a part where they're fixing the rail. So there's this construction, and the man doesn't have on a hard hat. He doesn't have on goggles. He's just welding away at the rail, which needs to be repaired. There are sparks flying. There's this big old boulder on the other side that blocks you, so you can't really walk away from it. And I'm just like, There's a step that's missing. Looked like somebody stepped on it and it slid down. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't make it. But it was like the top is right up there. You got to make it. It would be a shame to come to Taiwan and say, I saw Elephant Mountain, or I climbed some of it. No, I had to make it to the top. I had to. And so I'm just like resting again on all fours, and I'm looking up like, I can't climb it. I can't do it. I can't make it. And, this is fat man there, and he's one of the guys working on the rail. And it's a thin rail to begin with, and it needs to be repaired. And he's working on the rail, and he said something to me in Mandarin. So I turn around and look, and he's like, and I'm like, go up? He's like, yeah, go up. And he's chuckling at me. And I'm like, all right, yeah, 5-second rule. So I'm climbing up again, and I made it. I'm actually sitting at the top, and it's really, really beautiful. I'm going to try to show you. I hope I don't make you dizzy. I'm going to try to show you some of this. It's really gorgeous, and I still have to figure out how I'm getting down. Let's see. Okay, let's see. This tall building here, I hope you can see it. That's Taipei 101. And then you can look down at the city. And then it would be a long way down if anything were to happen. As you can see, I'm staying on the edge here. There's no rail, there's nothing keeping me from falling other than my own common sense. My own common sense is the strength of my own legs. That's it. But I'm really, 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 really happy that I did it. And now I can always say, I can always think to myself, yeah, I climbed Elephant Mountain. I did that. So let's get to it. Um, Today I wanted to talk about the two things that really helped me to finish writing my novel. And there were two things that really helped me. One was having a plan. The second was the idea of editing. There's a saying that however you're successful in one thing is how you're successful in everything. And I'm a planner. I like to make a plan. That's when I am successful, when I have a plan and I execute it. And so, unlike my other novels, I have, unfinished works in a literary trunk somewhere, a trunk of unfinished works. And I was just writing. And then if I don't get inspired or if I don't know what comes next, a few days go by, that turns into forever. So with this one, I wrote a plan, and so whether I'm inspired or not, I wake up at 4 in the morning, I write 3 to 5 hours, I'm getting it done. So for me, having a plan works, and I think that's true for most writers. Now, some writers say they just write, um, but I'm not one of those. If I wanted to finish this, I had to have a plan. The other thing that helped me was the idea of editing. And editing is actually, the idea of it is actually really daunting to me, but at the same time, it's very freeing because whatever idea I had to move the story along, whether it was stupid, unrealistic, outrageous, just crazy, I could always say, well, I can edit it. I'm going to edit anyway. And so that allowed me to circumvent this perfectionism that plagues me and just write. It's better to have 2 pages written than just to have a blank page because you're thinking. So write, because that's what writers do. We destroy blank pages. So make sure you're destroying those blank pages. Go ahead and start writing. Now, I also want to give you a gift, and it is a writer's exercise. And this is to stimulate creativity and courage. So I want you to get 3 containers, whether they're paper bags, cups, bowls, plates, whatever, jars. And you're also going to get 3 sheets of loose leaf paper or lined paper. The first container you're going to label setting, the second conflict, the third characters. And on 1 sheet of paper, you're going to write your settings. It could be a 1950s bunker, skip 2 lines. A burning circus tent, skip 2 lines. A doctor's office, okay? And then you're going to cut all those up, fold them up, and put them in the settings container. You're going to do the same thing for conflict, and you're going to do the same thing for characters. Make sure you pick something interesting. So it could be a dying girl, a frog, the man in the moon, whatever, as long as it's interesting and a little bit outrageous. Then you're going to take 1 from each container. You're going to take 2 from the characters, unfold them, and what do you have? Maybe you have a dying girl and a man in the moon in a burning circus tent fighting over a donut. Outrageous, right? Won't work? No, don't say it won't work. Ask yourself, how can I make this work? That's what successful people do. They don't say, this doesn't work. They say, how can I make this work? And just ask yourself that question. Maybe you have to sleep on it. Maybe you ask yourself in the beginning of the day, and then as you're living and working throughout the day, it's a beautiful butterfly. As you're living and working throughout the day, it comes to you. So ask yourself, how do I make this work? And then write a short piece using those elements. So I hope you have fun with that. I really enjoyed that exercise. Here's a relevant quote of the day from Langston Hughes. The only way to get a thing done is to start to do it. Then keep on doing it. And finally, you'll finish it. So just take that first step and just keep making 1 step and another step and another step, and you will finish. In closing, I hope that thing didn't just bite me. I hope this video has found you in good health, in good spirits, and inspired. I'm Dana V. Richardson. Thank you for watching.